Introduction to computers. What does the word compute mean? The word compute means to calculate. Earlier, computers were used for calculation purpose, so they were called as computers. Though computers today can able to perform many different tasks, we still call it as a computer. And what is the computer system? The computer system is nothing but the computer makes use of many devices and work together to accomplish the task. And when it comes to the formal definition of a computer, the computer is an electronic device that takes an input, that process it, and gives the output. What does it do? It takes the input, that stores it in the memory, and process it and gives the output. Let's take an analogy of mango juice. What is the input we give? Mango, milk, and sugar, and we churn it. Churning is nothing but processing, and the output is mango milkshake. This is just an analogy. You can understand this. It's nothing but computer is an electron. It's just an electronic device that takes an input, that stores it, processes it, and gives you the output. Next, computer has one important component called processor. This is also called heart of a computer, a CPU, central processing unit. It has two components. One is ALU and other one is CU. ALU performs all arithmetic and logical operations, and control unit actually tells the arithmetic logical unit and all the devices and input and output devices how to respond to an instruction within a program. An instruction is nothing but you tell the computer to do something. Collection of these instructions is a program. A program is a collection of instructions. Next, I'm thinking this. You're sure about this introduction to computers? What does the computer mean, and what is the computer systems, and what are input and output devices? And computer has the processor. The input devices are something like keyboard, mouse, and output devices are like monitor and printer. I think you are sure about it. Next, computing environment. Computer actually takes a problem and solves it by using the devices, but the way of arrangement of these computers to solve a problem is computing environment. We have personal computing environment. Personal computing environment is nothing but the computer program resides within our computer and executes it and gives it the result. It's something like our laptops, mobile, and personal computers within our home. They all have the programs within them, and they give us the results by executing it. Next, we have time sharing environment. Time sharing is nothing but we have multitasking within our computers. While typing an email, I can listen to songs, and I can watch a video, and I can do any other task because CPU time is divided among different applications. They all can be worked simultaneously. Time sharing is simple. We can perform multitasking by using time sharing environment. Next, distributed computing environment. Distributed computing environment is something like a big software application is run by executing the programs of it on different system. Let's suppose you have a very big job like preparing the food for 10,000 people. Can you prepare food for 10,000 people all on your own? No, you can't. You have to distribute the work among your peers. You people work together and produce a result. Let's suppose there's a very big application like Facebook. It has lakhs of programs under it, so it is impossible to run on a single system. So we run these programs on a different systems. They work together to accomplish a single task, that is Facebook. This is a distributed computing environment. Next, grid computing environment. What is a grid computing environment? Are you sure about distributed computing environment? Because the grid computing environment, you understand it better if you understand grid computing environment. Sorry, okay, you can understand grid computing environment better if you understand distributed computing environment better. A grid computing is a collection of computers from different locations. All these computers work for a common problem. A grid can be described as distributed collection of large number of computers working for single application. Grid computing environment is same like a distributed computing environment. Is a collection of computers from different locations. They all work together for a single application. Distributed computing is a it works for very large application. Grid computing need not be for a very large application. It can be for a small application too. In a grid computing environment, consists of usually many number of processors to run an application. Next, cluster computing environment. What is cluster computing environment? Cluster computing is a collection of interconnected computers. These computers work together to solve a single problem. In cluster computing, a collection of systems work together as a single system. See, cluster computing need not work for a single application, but these are interconnected computers work as a single system. We can run many applications on a cluster computing environment, but it is may not be for a single application, whereas grid and distributed are for single application, and cluster is for many applications. See, the difference, you can understand it very well. I'll just say it now. See, distributed computing is for single application, and many systems are involved in it, whereas grid computing environment is also for single application. It may not be as big as a distributed computing environment, but it's a type of distributed computing where collection of all the computers work together as a single application, working for a single application. Sorry, collection of all the computers working for a single application. These two are working for a single application, whereas cluster computing environment, collection of interconnected computers work together as single system, may not be for a single problem. It can also be used to work for a single problem. Usually, cluster computing may work even for more than a single problem. I think the difference is pretty clear for you. And one more thing, there's another difference. See, the cluster computing is used in a local area network. See, there are two networks basically, local area network and wide area network. I'm sure you must be knowing what is a network, right? Network is nothing but interconnection of computers. In this, we have a LAN and WAN. Local area network is spread across less than 1 kilometer geographical area, whereas WAN is greater than 1 kilometer. So you can consider it as LAN is used in a single system or an office. WAN is spread across the entire city, town, or the country. This is wide area network. If it is used on a LAN, that is cluster computing environment. It is used on a WAN, this is grid or distributed computing environment.